Hello, and welcome to Kickin and Crocs, the podcast, where we have like a plethora of technical difficulties week in, week out. And
Yes,
it
but
makes
we
us
still
frustrated.
smile and have fun.
Yes. Yes, we do. We have so much fun.
Woo!
We've spent the last hour trying to get
Hello,
this thing
everybody, and welcome to Kickin and Crocs. This is Nick the Shadow Half.
to work. Wait, we're doing this in reverse order.
That's
Okay,
right.
That's fine.
This is Dave, the happy half of Kickin and Crocs.
And I am Steve.
So let's kick it off right and
Future
talk
me.
about Croctober.
That's true. It is Croctober. We're not going to go into talk about the race.
Croctober. I guess we could talk about the race.
I guess we can save that
I
for
mean-
after Croctober. We can save it for after Croctober.
I mean, it wasn't
It's
really at the race.
Croctober.
It's Croctober.
Let's tell everybody about Croctober. What's exciting?
I mean, there's
It's-
new Croc cowboy boots.
They give so each day is like a new Croc thing they give it, but like there's new cowboy boots.
We've
which-
been sent so many links, so many pictures,
Which is
of
funny
people
because
showing them to-
first thing in the morning when I saw it, I sent it to you. I
Yep.
sent it to my sister-in-law.
Yep.
Yep. No, those aren't it.
No.
Just
Nick
go
is,
to
Nick is searching for it.
if you
currently
go to
on
the
his
Croc
phone.
Instagram,
He's trying to
it's
find
right
it.
there. It's like
It should be the first one that comes up.
Right, no, that's it right there. Click that.
There it
there.
is. Classic.
No,
classic cowboy boots.
To your right.
Oh my
click
gosh!
that.
Here we go. Trying to help the elder of the group navigate his phone.
That is the new Croc cowboy boot.
There it is.
Wow, this is a shame for everyone in Texas. I feel bad. I love Crocs, but I'm not a huge fan of these things. I'm not wearing these things.
Okay, first of all,
I liked the other ones better. The
let me
first one that came out
describe
was better.
though. They have
There's a picture of him on the screen.
and they have like a sheriff's badge star on the front, but they have a spur. They have spurs.
They do.
Which I already told my sister-in-law who runs a horse barn, I want these for Christmas so I can come to the just to let's saddle up these horses.
I'll see you in Legacy West. Samurai cowboy. You samurai cowboy, you.
I liked the other ones they came out with first though. The other what were they called? The Huckle.
Yeah,
the
they were like a
Huckleberry boots?
Western boot, but they didn't have
Yeah.
spurs, man.
They didn't have spurs, no. But I like the looks of the originals. Look so much cleaner.
You couldn't bust into a saloon though with
These
those.
are kind of, These are a bit much.
So okay,
Oh, now you're looking
so
at
there's a
those.
story about the big yellow Crocs that you just pulled out, the big yellow
Oh
boots.
yeah.
So
Nick just
they're
found the
they're
big yellow
partnered with
Crocs.
the big red boot. Justin King, who works for the school, wore the big red boots on Wednesday. He has them. Those. They're disturbing.
He did.
He did, yeah. And they are
did.
they're disturbingly large.
Crocs. These are Crocs? Oh, okay.
No, those aren't.
The
red
yellow
ones
ones
Crocs.
are
What's that old cartoon where it was a robot kid?
Astro Boy.
That's what they look like. Astro Boy shoes. Is that what they're fashioned after, you think?
He
So,
doesn't
yeah,
want to take it.
So the big red boots are fashioned after Astro Boy, but Crocs partnered with that company and they made the big yellow boots, which Justin has swore he's going to buy for Steve.
No. He didn't swear. He was asking if he bought them for me, would I wear them? And I went, buddy, if you're gonna waste that much money on something for me, then yes, I will have no choice but to wear them. Otherwise, I'll feel bad. So yes, if he does end up buying them for me with his own money, then I will wear them for a Kickin' and Crocs video, possibly an episode of the podcast.
I think
But
you need these.
no
I think
promises.
whenever you're feeling down, if you put these on, they'll make you feel right.
What is that?
They're like heel high-rise studs.
Send that
Crocs.
picture to me, please, so I can put it up on the screen right now.
Yes, this would put Steve instantly in a good mood
Oh my god.
just by putting these on.
Look at that.
We're sending it to him
nonsense.
right now. Siren studded
You have to
clogs.
type a message in before you can
Oh.
send it.
Hi. That didn't work.
Oh,
Why is it
well,
not
I don't know what
working?
to do then.
That's weird. But we'll get it to you. We'll get it to you. That I think that's the shoe you need. It's only $85. Make it happen.
Only $85.
So, but Croctober, they do like new styles all the time. But like they've
Yeah,
been
they
coming out
do.
with some good styles. Like they partner with Levi, like the jeans.
yeah, they came out with
Oh
like
man,
some
there
denim-looking
there are
ones.
some. There's right on my top of my list. Top of my list.
They were pretty good.
Levi's. But yeah, so each and they're doing like a 25% off right now or something like that. There's Chewbacca Crocs now too, by the way.
So we got Hocus Pocus Crocs. I don't know if there's a deal on them, but they're out. Let's see if I can find the deals. I'll come back to me in a minute.
Well, Nick looks through CROCTOBER deals. Steve and I, there was no podcast last week, but Steve and I were on a mountain doing back-to-back Spartan races.
Spartan race, yeah.
This was probably our most injury-ridden race ever.
Well, yeah, but I mean, most of us went into it already injured.
Yes, I have a shoulder
So-
injury that I've been nursing. I finally started PT, and I think I'm on the right path now for recovery. Hopefully.
Good.
And then a couple people went in with like
So one guy had his hip, his hip was bothering him. The other guy has what we think is a bruised rib.
yeah, he has a bruised rib,
And then
hip bothering him. You went in good until you smashed your
knee. The tree stump leapt out at me.
Yes, he smashed his knee.
Yeah, that's a bad move. And I know you said you felt it the entire race because it was earlier in the race,
It was halfway through the first day.
right? Yeah. Oh, halfway through the first day. And, oh yeah. So for those of you that we didn't mention already, they did 2 races. So what are the 2 types of races that you guys did?
We did the Beast, which is the 13-mile one on Saturday, and then we did the Super, which is like the 8-ish mile one.
Now, to be fair, right? So, Dave, we know you passed a lot of the obstacles because of your shoulder, but you still did the extra running to make up for it. Is that what it was?
Yes.
So Spartan races, we've been doing these a long, long time. Yeah, me, I've been doing it a long time, and then maybe 2 years before Steve started doing it with us. Burpees were what you always did. So if you found an obstacle, you did 30 burpees. But in the last 2 years, they've kind of been phasing out the burpees and adding penalty loops. So if you can't do an obstacle, or if you fail an obstacle, they have a red taped off little up and down the mountain section that you do again. So there's a penalty loop. So I basically just did a bunch of penalty loops. I did do a couple obstacles that I knew I could do without
He was
hurting
able
my
to go over a
shoulder.
couple of the walls.
So a couple of the lower walls where I didn't have to pull myself over. A couple of carries, I had Steve lift the weight and put it on my good shoulder for me, and then I just carried it. And crawling under some stuff.
A barbed wire, yeah, the
I
barbed
could
wire.
do some of the under crawls, which I kind of did like a jujitsu scoot. So I didn't crawl hands and knees. I kind
He
of
kept his good shoulder, or
Yeah.
good elbow, rather.
Through? Did you do a
What?
shrimp and through?
100% like a jujitsu shrimp almost, but without.
Now, you and I are both follically challenged for hair. So do you wear I know you have the bandana sometimes, but when you're going under those barbed wires, do you wear any kind of cap or anything just in case you were to get caught on it? No,
Nope.
not at all.
Nope. And I always suffer the curse of being bald. If you see my tan line, the headband, because that's your bib that has your number
You
on
wear a
it.
headband with a number on it, yeah.
That's so. The first day wasn't too bad, but it got really sunny the second day, and I didn't bring sunscreen because I thought it was going to be cloudy, and so once again, the tan and then the top all burned, and yeah. So, but it was a good day, and then I found out, you know who's at that Spartan race? We found out we're AJ Kicks.
Yes.
So-
We follow on Instagram.
A martial artist we follow on Instagram who's also a New Jersey resident.
yeah.
So she was
Found out that a little too late.
she
We
ran the
didn't know
Spartan
she was
race.
there at all.
We would have tried to link up.
Yeah,
but-
we would have tried to actually. What did she do? The sprint?
yeah, she did the sprint. That was her first ever.
Oh, that was her first ever.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Now we know she's in Jersey. Let's have her on as a guest maybe if she wants to come in.
We'll have to.
Bring the show on the road. Yep.
Yeah, maybe see if she's interested
We'll
in
have
doing
to
a
try
podcast.
at least once or twice.
Yeah, we'll reach out. See if she's interested in doing the podcast. But the podcast. But she doesn't wear Crocs.
I'm
But
renaming it to that. We're gonna call it Le Podcast.
the podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Kickin and Crocs
The podcast.
Ole.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a
Reeling it
bucket
back
list.
in.
But it was fascinating to see a martial artist out there doing. We ran into a whole
Yeah.
crew of jiu-jitsu guys out there the second day.
Yeah, we had another. There was a school that was there running.
Yeah,
There was a group of people from a jiu-jitsu school.
we always bump into martial artists out there.
Always.
Did they just bear crawl their way through the entire event?
No.
No, but
That
they always
would've
have
been
their
very
team shirts
challenging.
on, and
Oh yeah. They had a logo on their T-shirt with.
they're always the
name of
friendliest
school
people.
and
Martial
stuff like
artists are always
that.
the friendliest people, generally speaking.
For the most part.
So
So I it's one of the things I enjoy the most. I've been on vacation, all over as far as islands and Europe, and Whenever I run into a martial artist, they don't have to understand anything you're freaking saying, and they will have a great time. They're very positive. I really haven't. Only time I've ever run into negative martial artists are usually when they're in the heat of a tournament, right? They just kind of get caught up in that moment, and afterwards it ends up calming down and
Upset
chilling
maybe
out
at
anyway.
losing or something like that.
Yeah, or just that's how they get into their zone, right?
Mhm.
But we've trained with world champions in many of our seminars and things of that nature, and they're all awesome, and whether they're at the level where they won the championship or they're on their way there, they're still fantastic to, folks that are just training with them. It's cool.
Yep.
Yep.
you took the microphone from him just to say that. Oh,
Yep.
we didn't explain.
Yep.
We didn't explain to the audio
Oh,
listeners.
we're short of mic.
Yeah, we are having a lot of technical difficulties today. So we are down one microphone, and so
So-
Dave and Nick have been trying to share. So Nick has been starting to talk when he doesn't have the microphone. Dave has to pass it to him. Dave takes the
We-
microphone back and then just says, "Yep, it's a good
happens.
good
But
podcast. Le podcast."
But we always bump into fellow martial artists out in the Spartan course, and it was cool because AJ put up on her story like it was a bucket list item, and she really had a challenge, and it was fun. But what I get a kick out of is I saw that at like 11:30 at night or 12 at night.
Mhm.
So I commented from the Kickin and Crocs account, "Hey, we were at that race. I wish I knew you were on it. We could have met up or whatever." I forget exactly what I said.
I can even look it up right now.
She responded overnight. Steve responded to her in the morning from the Kickin and Crocs. So I always laugh because it's two different people on the same account. So like you never know who you're talking to, whether it's Steve or I. So it's pretty funny to me that she has no idea that she was talking to two separate people.
Did she not enjoy the second interaction? Is that what it was? She's like, I don't know. I enjoyed responding to you yesterday, but now I don't want to respond at all. Forget it. Did you ruin the response, Steve?
I'm looking it up right
He did.
now.
It means yes. That means yes. If he has to look it up, it means he did.
Hang on.
But
Okay,
again,
so
we're
here we
being
go.
positive.
So Dave commented,
Yep.
"Oh man, we were there running the Beast Saturday and the Super Sunday. Would have tried to meet you."
Ole.
And Le podcast. And she commented back, "Oh dang," in all caps. "That would have been sick. There's always next time. Hope you all had a great time at the event too. Were you doing the open or competitive heats?"
Tagging you.
So then I replied,
No.
"We." No. I replied, "We do the open heat usually, although we are talking about doing a competitive next year. But it's great seeing other martial artists doing Spartans."
Uneventful. That's fine. I would have liked no better.
So-
She said, "No."
We're gonna slowly work our way into like trying to get her on a podcast or something like that.
We'll work our way. Well, yeah, but let's not, try to rush it.
I'm gonna rush it. I'm gonna just message her tonight. Be like, "Yo, you want to be on a podcast? And a podcast?"
Hey, what? What's the worst that happened? She says no.
Do you guys listen to 1015?
No.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
Nobody over under a certain 1015. The old man gets his little radio going.
Let me tune into 101.
So the reason I'm saying is because my brother-in-law does a podcast as well, and he was able to get the host from 1015 on the podcast. But
That's
he
cool.
sent like a couple random messages, and she liked the content that he was talking about. I said, "Yeah, I'll join." So he was able to get her via Zoom. So sometimes you just throw it out there, and you'd be surprised. People are like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Probably like, "Wow, nobody's listening to 1015. I should get on a podcast."
Maybe it'll boost the ratings a little bit if I get on a
Oh,
podcast, because that's all
man.
people listen to nowadays.
What you don't know is that Nick actually has one of those old wooden radios, and him and his children gather around it.
For the fireside chats.
They're gonna listen to.
We're going to listen to the president's
They're gonna get some
fireside chats,
Ovaltine
kids.
ads and.
Listen, guys, it's Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Yeah, kids have no idea what that is anymore.
Nope, no idea.
Anyway,
No idea at all.
so
moving
so
right
with
along.
Croctober though, but there's all these new Croc lines. So they got a Chewbacca Croc. They have a couple different things. So I got my nephew for his birthday coming up in November. I got him the Shrek Crocs.
That's right.
I did get him the Shrek Crocs.
That's right. Shrek
Um,
Crocs. Oh man.
And then they just launched the Nerf Crocs, which I know Logan would like. So I was like, I showed it to Logan on a group chat, like we have a family group chat or a FaceTime. So he was like, "Oh, I don't, you know me. I don't really like Crocs." And then he texted me behind. He's like, "I like those, but I can't say anything because mom would crucify me." But the Nerf Crocs have dart storage. Yeah, so they have dart storage on the side.
Yeah, you literally. There's a picture of them on the screen right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a picture of all these Crocs.
So they partnered. They partnered with Nerf, and they literally have dart storage on the sport band. And I was like, "Oh, he would love those because he's got a lot of Nerf guns and whatnot."
No, they're really cool. It looks like it holds only one on each, but it's still something. And they're lined with the direction the Croc's going, and definitely a traditional Nerf color. So they're blue and orange. It's neat. They're pretty cool.
I mean, how many darts do you think they could store in the shoe? Nick wants an Armada.
One in each gibbet hole.
They got Harry Potter. They got Harry Potter. They have Harry Potter and the Dark Arts.
Okay, they have Venom, Spider-Man Venom Classic. That's pretty cool. Kid's Nightmare Before Christmas.
So you my Dylan clogs? I'm so mad I bought them as early as I did because now they got the Dylan burnished clogs. And look at the burnished clogs. They also have it in the purple too.
Like that. No, that makes it look like a more traditional, like going out shoe. I see what you're saying.
And I'm like, God darn it! I already bought the light tan one. How much nicer is that?
That's way different, Dave. Look, Steve, that's a whole different experience.
So
as soon as I saw it when they came out, I was like, oh no.
You got some interesting comments about your Dylan clogs the first time around that you got them.
Yep.
I don't think you'd get those comments again.
On those. I know, that's what I'm saying.
Those
what I get a kick out of is how people always send me they send me the like, oh, this is the newest thing. This is like, I don't check the Crocs app every morning when I wake up. They don't know
that though. They don't know.
I wake up, I'm like, okay, let's read some news. Let's check the Crocs app. Okay.
Steve's new pink Crocs.
I know.
You got to go Barbie.
I've told about
Barbie.
That. I told people this. I cannot buy a new pair of pink Crocs. The frocks are now like they're
These aren't
too
replacing
famous.
them. They're not replacing
They are.
them.
They would be replacing.
These are an additive to that.
No, they'd be.
What if
replacing.
Alex bought them for you?
Well, let's see. Then it would be a gift. That's a different story.
What if
the
originator?
If anybody bought them, if anybody
originator
bought them for
of
me
the,
and handed them to me,
those,
then they are a gift from
so
somebody
those
else.
are on my list right here.
What's on your list? Speak it out.
The Echo boots are on my list, but in the white.
It's a good Dave shoe, the Echo boot. Also, again, a new one coming out now. Kids Reese's Classic for the like Reese's peanut butter cups. That's on there. There's 2 different type of Barbie ones. I mean, there's a lot of good ones.
We still have to do a Spartan race in some clogs.
Oh yes, that will be happening. We will be doing a Spartan race in the hiker Crocs. That is something that will be happening.
This was a muddy race.
Yeah, I don't think that would have gone very well.
Muddy.
Don't think it would have gone very well at all. We're gonna have to do it in a place that's not that bad. I mean, I feel like every single one of them are gonna be like
Bethel,
that.
New York was not muddy, and it was
not
fairly
very muddy.
easy race.
Okay, all right.
I think
we'll probably have to do that
Bethel's
one.
the
Yeah,
one.
Bethel might be the way to go.
Bethel.
That's the one that Nick is going to join us on as
Bethel!
the cameraman, right? Remember you said you were going to do that?
How far in the future is this? Like
next year.
No, like next year. We'll end up doing a couple more than one sprint because we want to do one competitive sprint, we want to do one regular sprint, and we definitely want to hike.
We definitely
want
to
do one
in
in
the Crocs.
Yes.
Which we are not going to be counting. Because it's not going to go too well. But yes, that's the one that Nick said he was going to join us on. Not doing any of the obstacles, but just, come along on the mountain with us.
No. You're going to have to attempt some obstacles.
No, don't make him do that.
The obstacle will be able to run the entire time without dropping
the
the camera.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Bro.
No, leave him alone. It's okay.
Maybe when I do my Murphy training, which I told you I'm starting to do now, that'll get me ready for some obstacles.
He means
Actually,
the
I
Murph?
think so.
He means the Murph?
Yeah, people would know what he means. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that probably would get you ready for some obstacles, I think.
So, I guess since we're talking about the Spartan race, I guess I should update my shoulder injury.
You can if you want to. Go ahead.
So
I don't think we ever mentioned it really on the podcast too much.
Well, we did. Well, when we shot the Murph video, I had to do rows.
When we shot the Murph video, yeah, we did mention that.
So
we were I just caught some spit. Impaired.
So I did get a cortisone shot the Friday before the race, and now I start PT, and it's hoping it's just a frozen shoulder with an impingement, and I should hopefully through PT be able to get back to normal. We'll find out. I go till November 3rd, and then we'll find out. If not better by November 3rd, then I actually need to get an MRI and see what's going on in there.
Yeah.
But Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, baby.
So I can get back to
Back to normal.
saying
That'd
Back
be
to-
nice, right?
being able to do the things I like to do.
Yeah.
So we didn't get a lot of questions for question and answers,
No,
but we did get an interesting question that we should talk about.
we did get an interesting. We got one question. I had people that were commenting, "Oh, yay, I got this."
Also, we
I
have to
got
we also have to get
questions.
Len back on the podcast
We
so
do
we
need to
can
get
share
Len
her
back
video.
on the podcast so she can share her video. Yeah.
We'll make that happen. And Rob wants to be on.
Mike and Emma are also in for being on as well.
Yeah, well, let's go.
I know, right?
Let's go.
Okay, so let's move on, though. We did get one question, though, for what we wanted to have be our question and answer podcast episode. But as it turns out, looks like that's probably not going to happen.
No, we will get one in.
I don't know.
We will. It'll
I
happen.
don't know. It doesn't seem like anybody wants to participate except for Ian. Thank you, Ian, our wonderful video editor, who submitted this question to us on our Instagram.
I actually had one of the girls came up to the front desk today and goes, "Did you guys do Magic Crocs 3 yet? And did I miss it?" And I'm like, "No, sweetheart,
need
we
to
haven't
get
done that
moving
yet."
on this, man. We need
I
to
was
get
like-
moving, man. We
I
gotta
was
get
like,
going.
"No, sweetie."
We need to get going on this. I've had people ask me about it too. Back to this wonderful question that our video editor Ian, who did edit Magic Crocs 2, has brought us. And the question is, if Crocs made a pair specifically for martial artists, what feedback or things would you consider in the design? What would you suggest to them for a pair of martial arts tailored Crocs? Is basically what he is asking. So thank you, Ian, for the
This
question.
is complex.
That is a good one.
I have a couple of different ideas.
That
I want
is-
to pass the mic to Nick
Okay.
first.
Yeah, because I need. Yeah.
They should feel like a slipper and have holders for knives.
Ooh.
Okay, so I was going
like
more.
knives and like ninja throwing stars and stuff like that. Interesting.
Okay, so I was thinking more along the lines of like, so they got to be lightweight, obviously.
Yes.
But like, so if you've ever worn like the old school like Adidas martial arts shoes, they had the pivot point on the ball of the foot.
What shoe is this?
You never wore those?
No, you guys have never mentioned this to me before at all.
Oh yeah. I had them for a while actually. Jesus Melgar, who used to teach at the school, never went barefoot. Always wore his Adidas martial arts shoes.
Interesting. So,
so-
they're like mat shoes. You can wear them on the mat.
Yeah,
Kinda like
100%.
what Master Paul has sometimes.
Correct. He wears wrestling shoes more. Master Paul does,
Okay.
which I also like. But the wrestling shoes, I wore those for a brief period of time too. Obviously, when I was training a lot, Master Paul, me and Jermaine.
Yeah.
But the problem with the wrestling shoes is they don't pivot well on the mats because they're not really designed to do that.
Makes sense. So I think they would be more designed to grip the mat.
And then if
right?
you've ever worn like a boxing shoes pivot a lot.
Me neither. I haven't worn boxer shoes.
Boxing shoes pivot a lot and have a lot of ankle support.
Oh yeah.
But so these shoes had a so it was grip, but then it had a circular pivot point on the ball of the foot that was supposed to be designed for roundhouse kicks to make it a little bit easier.
Turning, yeah.
Or if you had on a side kick where you pivot out your base leg.
That's
So I
awesome.
maybe have something like that on the bottom of the Croc. I'm thinking some kind of lace system or like they have like boa those. You ever see the boa ones?
Would the resting mode or the comfort mode be a black belt?
Ooh,
maybe.
That'd be pretty cool.
Maybe. And then like
That'd be pretty cool if it was the shape of a black belt.
so it had to be a little tighter to you.
Yeah. More fitted like a sneaker or like one of the loafers.
So then I feel like that would be cool. And then my other thought was like, so that's like a martial arts shoe. But if they made like, remember old sparring boots? What if they did like a Croc sparring boot with a shin thing attached to it, and like the gibbet holes down the,
They make like a pair of shin guards for sparring.
like
with
Croc
gibbet
sparring
holes and
gear,
stuff like that. That's pretty cool. I like that.
like Croc sparring gear, maybe.
No, I can actually see that piece happening, and it work almost like a traditional soccer shin pad, right? So it'd be a little bit rougher. So for those of you that can't see, as I'm talking, Dave is slowly moving the mic closer and closer to my face. To the
Good.
point where I'm wiping my nose with it at this
No,
point.
good, because it'll actually
So-
pick up your voice.
My voice is usually, I feel like it's too loud. You're saying it's not loud enough with the mic sharing.
During the with the mic sharing, it can get kind of quiet sometimes.
Yeah, 'cause
but you know what? That's
In the
okay.
dojo from the mats, you can hear me talking.
Oh yes.
So
Mhm.
it's
Your
a much
teaching
different
voice is very
conversation.
different from your podcast
Yeah.
voice.
You can also do a Crocs boxing glove
You totally could.
with like hand pad.
Yeah.
Like,
Made out of crosslight.
right? I bet it would be pretty good. Like
I don't know how.
it's
safe
gotta
that
be,
would be.
it's gotta be at least as good as like the Century foam,
Oh, for sure.
like the ones the kids wear. The foam, like
the cheaper ones. Yeah.
Did we cover the full question though? Like just check it one more time. Make sure
I'll
we
check it.
covered because
No, I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
it was
it was-
more around just the type of
Yeah. No.
martial arts or karate shoe.
No. He said. The question was, if Crocs. This is me paraphrasing, kind of. I'll rephrasing it. If Crocs were to make a style of Croc specifically for martial artists, like they bill it as this is the martial arts Crocs. What design, like, what would you suggest for them to put in the design? And Dave was saying, like, the pivot point on the ball of the foot, and
I mean,
he wants Croc sparring gear, you know.
from I want to look at a martial arts outfit. Like you could have come in and be like two different, almost like a gi top, right? And then have this be the belt.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you can do that
That's
if you
cool.
wanted it to look like a gi. But if you
Yeah.
wanted it to just be martial arts related, then I do like the pivot. I forgot about those, by the way. I do like the pivot idea on them, especially because these are meant for like a type of grip also. And the pivot would be nice. And I think you have to go the hard colors, the black, the reds, and the whites for it if you were not going to try to look like a gi top.
so. I had those like the martial arts shoes. I had the black with the red Adidas, and then Mike, who I brought up a couple times, his kickboxing coach and instructor when I was a kid. He had the white ones with the black stripes, and he would wear them as his motorcycle shoes because they were super lightweight, but they were still a shoe.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what he would wear as his motorcycle shoes.
I never wore shoes, and I'm not saying you should always be barefoot. I just never, and I never wrestled either. That's why. So I think it just never translated over to me wearing shoes on the mat. I didn't. But now, the ones out there.
Only time I've ever worn shoes on the mat is the pairs of Crocs that I have specifically for kicking in Crocs.
I only wore the martial arts shoes briefly, and then I ended up using them more for like when I practiced in my backyard. And then I wore the wrestling shoes, but I ended up only really using them when I was teaching briefly. And then I was like, I still like being barefoot better. It's
so much
barefoot's
nicer.
just where I'm at these days. I don't think I'll
mean,
ever.
I understand what people are saying when we're walking around off the mat barefoot. It can be a little bit detrimental.
Well, did you see the that one Sudoku seminar we went to? They were all wearing the hygiene socks.
Yeah.
Like they make martial arts socks called hygienes
Yeah.
or hygens. I think they're called hygienes.
Something like that.
But yeah, those people wear those too. There's nothing wrong with wearing like a grippy, like a mat sock or like a mat
Yeah,
shoe.
no, there's nothing
It
wrong
was
with that
just
at all.
never my cup of tea. I did it for a little bit and I was like, nah, it's not really. I don't really like it. But I did like having the lightweight like martial arts shoes to use in the backyard, particularly my parents' backyard, because it was like the grass is not the softest; it's a little prickly.
Oh yeah, mine too.
So having their shoe was important,
Yep.
but I couldn't be too heavy.
I think it'd be good for a future episode again because we're assuming that everyone that's watching it is in the martial arts, but let's say a couple are not. We can go over some different types of martial arts gear. As far as one time, we could just do general, lightweight, middleweight, heavyweight gi, grappling level gi, where the stitching is a lot thicker. What do they look like? Why would you wear it? And then another episode could be about sparring gear or different types of protective gear. If you guys are interested, let us know. Because I was looking at your ring, and again, we were talking about that in class tonight, right? Switching from a traditional wedding, hard wedding band to the what are they? Is that like a
Silicone bands.
Yep. My wife actually got me mine because my fingers in the summer, like they'll swell up from the heat. So then that ring will get really difficult to navigate, especially if we're training a lot on top of it. But I have found myself not switching back my ring. I've kept this on so comfortably. I guess if we go to like an event, I'll take it off. But day to day, I just keep the band on as is.
I wear my silicone wedding band almost all the time. On the weekends, after I'm done teaching Saturday, I will switch to my real one, and I always wear my real one if I'm going to like a wedding or like a fancier thing. But I have a nice silicone. I mean, you wouldn't know it's silicone really unless you get up close because it's white with like little gold flecks. And I actually have three different ones. I have a blue one and I have this black and red one I use for Spartan races, so this doesn't get too dirty. But believe it or not, jiu-jitsu guys would wear their regular wedding bands, and they would consistently, I forget what they call it. Is it cuffing? I forget what the exact term is, but you rip the flesh from your finger with your wedding band.
Yeah.
And then you some people have
Yeah,
lost
totally can
fingers,
happen.
some people have lost just in
Yeah,
grappling.
totally can happen. Yeah.
And I'm like, and I remember, I mean, I know some of the guys still wear their regular wedding bands, and every time we do like a parry or a brush, like a brush grab strike, I feel the ring hit me.
Yep.
I
Me
feel
too.
every time, no
Me
matter
too.
what, I feel the ring hit me. And I don't like doing that to other people. So like, I wear a big gold family ring. It's my family ring. We own the mold. Every male in my family has one. We bring the mold to a jeweler. They make the ring. I wear it as soon as I'm off the mat. Done for the day. It goes back on my hand. I wear it all day except when I'm teaching. When I'm training, this is not on me. So that's why like a lot of people at the school don't even realize I wear it unless you know me outside.
Right.
And I'm not a big jewelry guy anymore. Anyway, I used to wear like the chains and all that good stuff and whatever the, stereotypical Italian used to wear. Now it's really, if anything, just the wedding ring. I really don't wear anything else, and I think it's just because I jump on the mat, I'm ready to go, or any type of training really. But a lot of kids are still wearing, a lot of adults are still wearing it, and it's not until you have that moment where you got hit or they get hit that they recognize like, oh, maybe I should be doing that all the time.
I used to wear a school ring. In high school, I used to wear a school ring, but I don't know. I'm not in high school anymore.
I wear
So
a lot
I'm
of.
like,
I do wear a
what's the
lot of.
point?
I mean, I don't wear a lot of jewelry, but I do like. I always have my watch, my family ring, my wedding ring, which is silicone these days generally, and most of the time I'll have a bracelet on. A lot of times I have a silver bracelet with my dog's picture, my late dog, her picture's in there. But I take it off. There's a little bag in the drawer where I take it off when I'm teaching.
Yep.
It comes off.
So I just noticed on your ring, it has your initials on it, and I don't know why I never really paid attention to that. Does it always have the initials of the individual, or is it always just happen to be DZ?
Always the initials of. So it's always the Z, obviously, because it's only Zappos males. But the first initial is always the letter of like my dad says AZ, my cousin Adam is AZ, my uncle Stan is SZ. They have an Asher, which is AZ. That's my cousin's kid.
Does Dominic have one?
They have a Noah, which is NZ. Dominic does not have one. I don't know if he's going to get one or not. His last name is Zappos.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
But that's just because that's what my sister. I mean, he's eligible to get one. That's up to him. That can become a touchy conversation sometimes with my sister. So he should have already had one if he went by age. So traditionally, it was a bar mitzvah present because my dad is Jewish. I obviously was not Jewish, so around the same age as when I got it. The age of bar mitzvah, so Nick asked me what age bar mitzvah is 13. Yes. So Dominic will be turning 17. It's up to him if he wants one, and then, but then it becomes a tricky issue because his brother, they're all Rosses. So but my dad and I are like, we don't care if we change the last, like if we include my brother-in-law and get him a ring. That's
as long as the ring's look stays within the same realm.
Well, yeah. Well, we own the mold, so like literally, we have a mold, and then my cousins in California have a mold, and there's two molds in existence. That's it. You cannot get this ring anywhere else. We literally own how you make it. You bring it to the jeweler, they make it.
Mm-hmm.
It comes back to us. Like my son will have one. Whether or not he chooses to wear it,
That's up to him.
that's
on
up to him.
But he's gonna
But
get
he
one.
will have one.
Yeah.
That's just just is what it is. But yeah,
Nice.
it's a cool thing. But jewelry off. But these kids now are all doing the rubber. You have that too,
Oh
where
my
they wear
God,
like a million
man.
rubber bracelets all the way up their
no,
arm.
we have
I'm like,
kids
dude,
stay
that's gotta
off.
go.
Off. Take it off.
It's gotta go.
Take it off. Take it off.
I haven't seen that yet. So there is it like those bands you get at events where it says the name of the event, the rubber
No.
band. You know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about. Yeah, some kids have those, but
no,
you
but
don't see
they're
that
just
that
regular,
often.
they're like rubber bracelets,
They're
and all
just
the kids are doing it.
Rubber bracelets that are interlinked. They're not braided, but they're kind of like you'll have to have seen it. To
But there's like a
understand
bunch
what I'm
of
talking
like I have one girl that wears them all the way up her arm. Like, dude, you can't do that. Like, I know they're rubber and they're soft, but still, like,
They can still
They're
get
gonna
caught. They can still get caught on things. And I've had kids gifting them to me now. I have about 4 or 5 of them now. Every now and then I will wear one.
yeah, they
I will
give them
wear
to
one
me too.
To show the kid that, hey, listen, I got your gift. I'm wearing it, but I interchange which ones I wear.
You know what I do?
So I'm wearing all of them.
You know what I do a
wear them all
lot too
throughout
when
the week,
somebody gives them to me.
but I'm only wearing one of them.
I'll do a lot when somebody gives them to me. I'll just put them on my ankle. I'll just over my foot, put them right on my ankle, and I wear it like a little anklet,
Could
a manklet.
We're gonna gloss over that.
That's what I call. Look, Shay Prendergast made me one out of rope many years ago when she was like a kid, and I was like, that made it through like 2 marathons. That thing before it finally like. Oh yeah. I have a video of me asking.
What did
I
Nick
have
ask you?
So Nick said you told her that you wanted a anklet, and I'm like an anklet, but for a man, a anklet. But
Who
there's
says
a-
that anklets can't be for men? Though?
there's a video.
Why do you have to give it a whole new name?
I don't know, but there's a video of a young Shay Prendergast making me the manklet, and then going, "See, here's your manklet. I told you I would make it." And she shared it in a memory like 2 years ago.
Cute.
We want the video so we can repost it on the Croc site.
I'll find it.
That's cute. I love that, but it doesn't have to be called an anklet.
It did back then, Steve. It
Why?
was because it was not 2023. It was just a funny thing to call it.
We can bring the jokes back because that's what 3 guys in a room do. We bring the jokes back.
Well, this whole podcast have been majorities just us, telling jokes and
But yeah,
fun of each other. And
I've worn like the rope like anklet or like that's okay for like one, but like too much jewelry's no good. I actually take this watch off when I'm teaching like a grappling move or something that's like, and then when we train,
well, you got to take the Apple Watch off.
and then when we train, what I do is I
Let my break.
put it up. Well, I wear it unless I'm demonstrating certain things.
Mm.
But what I'll do is I have a what do you call it? I have
Your
a
shoulder strap.
I have a strap for the watch. So when Steve and I train, it goes in the inside of my bicep.
You can
And I
still
can do
track
all
his
my-
heart rate. You can still track his
Right.
workout and stuff like that.
But I can do all the boxing and the sparring, and it does not at all get hit or
it doesn't
affected.
fall off.
Nope.
Yep.
I've sparred with it on. It's not an issue. As long as you keep it on the inside of the bicep. I don't wear it on the outside because then you have
Well,
to worry
it
about
could still get
getting
hit.
kicked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, gang. Well, I think we're getting to about that time. We know Dave's on a time crunch. It's already well past the time.
No, I mean there's no set time. I just get the don't be out all night because if we're doing this till 2 a.m, that's the.
Well, I
True.
wouldn't survive until 2 a.m. doing
Well,
this.
we did that one night where we did the podcast, but then we ended up playing Battletoads for like 2.5 hours.
Oh yeah.
That night, I think, is burned into Kelsey's
Yeah.
memory of like.
That's true.
Only 1 hour tonight? Got it.
I've also heard the game Never Have I Ever.
Okay.
We could play that game and do the same thing with having I have or the other foot I have never.
I like it.
Yep, that works. That
We got
works.
games we can play. We're gonna do that next podcast. That's what we're gonna do. Never have I ever.
Who was it that brought all the games? The one time that we
do you
played the game, it was Michaela.
Michaela brought us a quiz.
the trivia quiz.
Yeah,
That was a
that's
good game.
Len
Len brought
also
some
did a game
games.
with
Len
us
brought
as
some
well.
games.
Len brought a game with us as well. Just one game.
I was like, what gibbet?
That's what it was. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyways, so if you have not already, make sure you guys follow us on Instagram and TikTok and Threads at Kickin in Crocs, KICKIN.in.Crocs.
CROCS.
The best.
Ooh.
That's new.
New little additive to it. I like it.
I know Nick.
Very good.
Nick. So maybe if we had full range of mic, Nick wants to launch a new segment called Discomfort Mode,
Oh yeah, next podcast we're gonna have a segment of this podcast called Discomfort Mode,
where Nick is just gonna
airs his grievances about the world. It could be
Yeah.
about anything.
just think, old man whining about. the
Yeah, it's
world.
like, we're making my day when I was
These-
a youngin'.
These kids were on my lawn this morning.
How dare they? They tried to upsell me.
As the young kids say, it'll be a sleigh segment.
Oh God!
Bussin'.
Stop! Just stop, please. Let me get to the outro. I already said to follow us on all our social media, right?
Yeah,
Subscribe.
no,
to
we're
us.
good. We're
Subscribe
good.
to us on YouTube to watch the video versions of this podcast, and just
We
all
love-
the other
we love
all
you
the other
all.
awesome videos that we talk about doing and never do.
No, we're gonna do them. We
Yes,
love you
we
all
say
from
that.
the bottom
we
of
say
our
that every
Crocs.
time too. Oh yeah, that's right. 5-star.
5-star reviews, please, on all the podcasts. 5-star reviews.
And I am still Dave,
Definitely Nick.
and that was also Nick tonight.
Apparently. And you stay kicking, internet? Yay. Le
Shibuda.
podcast.
Le podcast.
Le podcast.
Le podcast. End.
Ole.